Good morning, people. Hope you are well. It is 6:45 in the morning. Gym session finished. I was there about 5:10, so hour and a half total session, including half an hour's cardio. Pretty standard stuff. My training sessions usually somewhere around between the sort of 50 to 60 minute mark. My leg sessions might take slightly longer just because there's some big movers in there and I normally need a little bit longer rest time between them. But yeah, somewhere around the hour mark is fairly standard. So what I'm going to pop up next is a little bit of maybe a little bit of an experiment. So I filmed a little bit of stuff with me talking in the gym, which is a little bit out of my comfort zone, I must admit. Not something that I do. It was pretty quiet when I first got in there. So when I first got in the gym at 5:10, there were maybe 4 or 5 other people in there and everyone was quite well spread out. So I didn't mind too much, like getting the camera up, talking to the camera. As it approaches 6 o'clock, it tends to get a little bit busier. So what you normally find is the closer to 6 o'clock you get, it probably starts to get more like 10, 15, 20 people. And then by the time I've just left, as I say, about 22, 6:45, it's probably about 30 people in there. Not crazy busy, but significantly more people than when I first get in there. And there's literally like me and a handful of others. So I will get that up. I'm going to have a little look at it, make sure that it's all okay, make sure that you can hear me. You probably sound, be able to hear that I sound a little bit croaky still. I'm still carrying a little bit of the croakiness from like last week's illness, the poor night's sleep on Sunday night with Louis. Yeah, so I'm hoping this is going to shift pretty quickly, but we shall see. So I will pop up that bit of footage. Hopefully you enjoy that style. Obviously I'll be back again later in the week with a little bit more update, the usual stuff with pictures, like replies from Christian once he's got back to me following my check-in next week. But I did also have a new low on the scales this morning. So checked in this morning with Christian, yesterday morning. And I had a slight little bump on the scales. I think I'd got down to 165 on Monday morning, and that had jumped up a little bit to 165.6, I think, yesterday. And then I'm back down to 164.4 today. So again, just goes to show that the scales can do funny things, but movement is very much happening in the right direction. 164.4 this morning, which is a new low. And we're all good otherwise. So just on my way home, hopefully Louis will be up relatively soon. We'll get all of that stuff sorted. He'll get dropped at the childminders and then the working day can begin. So nice quiet gym. Push session today. We're going to start with flat press. So my flat press of choice, this plate loaded machine. I really like this machine. So first set. Not too bad. And second set, I'll just lighten the load a little bit. We'll try and get a few more reps out. Just give myself enough time to catch my breath, get ready for that second set. Something that I probably see people do a bit too often. Not resting long enough, rushing into their second set, and they're not really ready for it. You need to make sure your body is ready to push that second set. I also don't tend to time my rests. I just allow myself to feel when I'm ready. And I find that works really well for me. I know some people are very on it. They want to be timing things. They want to be setting their little timer on their phone. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, however long it is. I like to be a little bit more intuitive with these things. Here we go. Make sure you finish those reps off. So next up, incline press. Again, I'm using a plate loaded machine here. Another one that I really like. Actually, one of the reasons why I come to this particular gym, because my other one doesn't have access to this plate loaded incline press. So even though this gym's slightly further away, I'm quite happy to travel the extra distance to make sure I can use this one. So incline press here, a little bit more upper chest bias. Let's get to work. There's matched reps from when I last did this session at this weight. So what you'll see I generally do for a lot of my pressing, my bigger movements at the moment, one heavier set, what can be referred to as a top set, and then one little back off set where the weight is slightly lower and the reps are slightly higher. And because I've noted everything down, I know exactly what I'm doing. Making sure we're resting long enough to catch our breath, feel ready for that next set. I'd probably say, generally speaking, even though, like I said, I don't time these rests, they're probably anywhere between 2 and 3 minutes between these bigger movements. Probably a minute minute and a half when we get onto some of the more isolation style stuff. So once we've done this press, we'll move on to a pec deck, and you'll see my rest periods there are going to be a little bit shorter. We want to keep that blood flow in there. Don't need to rest quite so long for those. That's another one rep up on that back off set. So both my back offs and my presses, we've added a rep to. And we added a little bit of weight to the top set on that flat press. I kept this top set the same, matched the reps, but a rep up on the back off. It's good news. So just moving around to the other part of the gym where a lot more of the machines are based to do some pec deck. So, shoulder press up next. This is another one that I don't have access to in my other gym. So I like to come to this gym for the incline press and for this shoulder press. It's another plate loaded shoulder press. It just feels a bit nicer than the machine one. There's a couple of reps up from last week. I'll take that. So onto some tricep extensions with a little rope attachment, another attachment I bring with me. 3 sets on here. Than I expected. But 3 sets of 10 to 15 on these. One more exercise and then cardio to finish off. This last one, pretty sure I saw from John Jewett. Really good movement. So, last tricep exercise. Really good overhead extension. A little bit tricky to get into. It feels great. The workout done. What is good, guys? We are, what morning is it? Friday morning, early session on Friday morning, 5 o'clock, getting that done. It is now about 25 to 20 to 7. On my way home, we've got a little bit of something to go and watch for Louis. So Louis has it's like a carnival parade. So the childminder will take him along. We're just going to follow a little bit behind. We're not entirely sure what it is, exactly what they do. We think it's just a little bit of a walk that they're calling carnival. But yeah, it should be good fun. But I am going to rant about Spotify. Spotify is really, really pissing me off at the moment because I don't know how many of you are Spotify users. I don't know how many of you very much keep in touch with like what's new. So basically the latest update for Spotify, which happened a little while ago, a few weeks ago probably, it moved where the what's new stuff used to be. So it used to be super simple. Like you'd click on the home screen, you'd click on your little icon, and very like obvious, clear as day, it just said what's new. Click on that and every single thing that was new from the artists that you follow, all of it was there. Super easy. You could then click on it, you could add it to a playlist, you could listen to it, you could do what you wanted to do, but every single thing that got released by that artist, clear as day, really simple. For some weird reason, they've taken that away, and in some, like, it's meant to be on your home screen, and there is a little section that says like new releases for you, but it doesn't show you everything, and it's really unclear. It's just so much less clear than the way it used to be, and to be honest, it's fucking useless. So I'm making a bit of a plea to Spotify. Please put the what's new stuff back where it used to be, because it was so much easier, it was so much better, and I can't be doing with this fucking new way that's absolutely pissing me off. So, because I've got no idea where anything is. And I know there's been loads of stuff released today because I like follow a couple of different pages on Instagram who notify of all the new releases. So yes, I know some clever dick's going to come and say, well, if you know what's being released, why don't you just go and search for it? Well, yeah, I can do that, but why should I need to? If it should all just be there, really simple, like it used to be. Time is key in this day and age, as you should well know, because you might even have switched off from this already. So anyway, rant over. On the way home, really good pool session this morning. Just feeling really, really good this week. You know, my body weight is coming down. You know, we're hitting some new lows. By all accounts, you know, I should be feeling pretty rubbish. You know, I'm pretty hungry, but I just feel good. You know, getting up isn't a problem. Getting out of bed isn't an issue. Just, yeah, everything about this week has felt pretty positive. So get home, get showered, get sorted, get breakfast, get Lara and Louis sorted, drop Louis at the childminders, a very small amount of stuff done. Then Lara and I need to dash out to go and see Louis at this thing. We don't think we're going to be there all that long. I don't think it's a long thing, and it's also pretty cold today. There was talk of snow, but thankfully that hasn't materialised. So there isn't any snow in the air, but it is cold. It's probably like 1-2 degrees. I had to scrape another frost off the car this morning. I had to do that yesterday as well, but not that I think you'll be able to see it, although you might be able to actually. As I go round this roundabout, if you look behind me, it's a really pretty sunrise. See if you can see it out the window. It's nice, like red sunrise sky. You might just be able to see it out the back window there. Probably not very clearly actually, but really pretty sky. So yeah, I'm almost home, get myself sorted, get everyone else sorted, and then let's crack on with the day. Good morning, YouTube. It is Monday morning, bright and breezy. The sun is shining, which we can never go wrong. It's pretty chilly outside, but yeah, I'd much rather have it like this with the sun shining than grey, miserable, and pissing down with rain. So there we go. Really good weekend, like nice weekend spent as a bit of family time. Lara took Louis to soft play Saturday morning while I just got a little bit of work done and had a couple of calls. And then we went out and had a bit of time together in the afternoon. And then yesterday morning, Lara's mum came and watched Louis while she and I went to the gym. And then we went to a little... I keep struggling for the words in English. It's like a braderie, a vide-grenier in French, which is it's like a jumble sale, like a car boot sale type thing. And we got a couple of little bits for Louis there as well. So nice little bit of time spent. We also got Louis a little play lawnmower and wheelbarrow when we went out on Saturday. So bless him, he was having lots of fun doing those. Yeah, so just a really nice family weekend. Progress wise for myself, another really good week. Another £2 down on average, which means I am now 17 pounds down in, is this week 8? 17 pounds down in, it might be week 9, week 8 or 9, with another 7 weeks to go until the shoot. So again, in a really good spot. Yeah, everything's going pretty smoothly, which is a really nice feeling. You know, I'm pushing hard, but I don't feel like I'm necessarily pushing as hard as I've had to in the past, which is because my body's in a different spot, right? Like I'm carrying a little bit more muscle, which means that I can eat a bit more. You know, my body's more accustomed to this stuff, and it's just going, you know, in a really smooth direction. You know, I sort of check in with Christian, obviously 3 times a week, like the formal one on the Tuesday, and then pictures and weight update on a Thursday and Saturday. And every time, you know, the weight's coming down, we're hitting new lows, and, you know, we're sort of joking like, this is bloody easy. And I joked with him on Saturday morning because I checked in with him on the Saturday, pictures, weight had come down again, new low. And he just replied and said, mate, this is too easy. I said, you know what? It's fucking amazing what happens when you just stick to the plan and you just do what needs to get done every week. Because, wow, progress happens. Like, if only every client realised that. But you know, I sort of say that tongue in cheek, but it is true. You know, like, if you do what needs to be done, you follow the plan, you eat the food, you train, you get your cardio, you get your steps done,
things will happen in a really quite uniform way. Yes, there'll be little things that will go on. Yes, it's not always going to happen completely uniformly. Yes, it will slow at times and adjustments need to get made. But yeah, we just had a little laugh about that because it's always quite fun to to joke about these things. But yeah, another £2 down on average this week. Pictures I'll pop up obviously with the update tomorrow. So once I've taken those tomorrow morning, once I've checked in with Christian, once he's come back to me with his reply, I'll give you the next little part. But yeah, I just wanted to do my usual Monday morning. This is where we're at, and I'll be back again tomorrow. So this morning I was at the gym at 5 o'clock and managed to record an entire talk through session without turning my microphone on. So a decent bit of content that is going to be absolutely useless. I mean, the videos can be used for training content footage, but the audio absolutely terrible. There's a couple of bits in there where I'm close enough to the camera that you can actually hear what I'm saying. But some of it, when I then walked away and I was doing a bit more talking while I was training, absolutely hopeless. So yeah, a nice bit of a wasted time, bit of wasted camera space, but we live and learn. Good morning all, hope everyone is well, and that is the check-in reply received back from Christian. Pictures I will pop up on the screen for you as well to have a little look at. Things are moving in the right direction. As I mentioned yesterday, we're £2.2 down on average, £2 down check-in to check-in, but we are going to push a little bit harder. So another 25 gram carb pull on my training days, which just means that the carbs are getting taken out of my intra-workout shake. So generally speaking, we're going to look for the sources of carbohydrates that are lowest in volume, easiest to get rid of with minimal sort of impact on the hunger and the appetite. So 25 grams of carbs that I was having within my intra-workout drink, those disappear, and then 50 grams of carbs off my rest days. So a little bit of a harder push on those rest days, which does now mean that I do have some carbless meals in my plans. The first time of this shoot prep that I've had meals in there that are going to have 0 carb in them. No major dramas with that. I'm quite used to it. Just means that we've got meat and veg, meat and salad, making sure that we're getting plenty of those good quality veggies, good quality salads in there, the voluminous foods, the low calorie foods. But yeah, a little bit of a bigger push, trying to really, get things bumped down again. We're 7 weeks out, so 7 weeks exactly yesterday by the time this video goes out. So I'm recording this on Tuesday morning, 7 weeks out from the shoot. So yeah, gonna push things that a little bit harder. 25 grams of carbs off training days, 50 grams of carbs off the rest days, and everything else as is. So still training 5 times a week, still getting 5 lots of half-an-hour cardios in at the end of those sessions. Steps, trying to keep those around that 8 to 10,000 a day on average, which generally speaking is fine. A little bit easier when the weather's a bit nicer. Though that said, you might be able to hear a few little splats of rain happening today. I thought we would do a nice sunny week, but lo and behold, we've got a bit of rain coming in. And I've also having issues with my second screen. So I bought myself a second screen with some vouchers that I got for my birthday. It was all absolutely fine yesterday, working perfectly, and then this morning turned everything on and it just won't happen. I've tried swapping the HDMI cables, I've tried on and off, I've tried restarting my MacBook. I'm just now trying to update the software because I noticed that hadn't been done. I'm pretty sure I did a software update only over the weekend, but there must be a new one. Maybe there's a few little bug fixes in there, and I'm just hoping that is going to be the answer. Otherwise, I might end up having to try and take this laptop into some sort of Apple shop somewhere to see if they can have a little look, just to make sure that there's nothing wrong with the HDMI port in it. But yeah, problems that we don't really need, do we? But first world problems, as they say. So anyway, I will leave this video here for this week. I hope everyone has an absolutely fantastic rest of it, and I will be back again next week with another instalment. We'll be 6 weeks out at that point, the shoot getting ever closer. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with where things are at the moment. Christian's pleased with how progress is going, but we are just kicking it on another notch just to make sure that we're going to be absolutely ready and raring to go. Cheers, guys.